The book is Mumseye. I know you want to know what that means. Mumseye. The author is Jacqueline Edwards. Jacqueline Edwards. Jacqueline Edwards was born in Kingston, Jamaica. And she migrated to the United States in 1992. She lives here in Richmond, where she earned a bachelor's degree in psychology at VCU. She is also, everybody ready, a certified life coach and transformational speaker. You can find Jacqueline exploring nature, visiting museums like today, or spending quiet evenings at home reading like you'll be doing after you purchase the wonderful books that are here on this table. So learn more about her book, Mumseye. Please welcome Jacqueline Edwards to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I first want to thank the Allegra Folklore Society for this wonderful opportunity. I remember when my children and I moved to Richmond over 17 years ago, and we toured the Richmond Slave Trail with this organization. It was an unforgettable experience, so thank you. I thank you all for being here. Mumseye, trapped in the mind of a child. My earliest memory is at 5 years old, living with my mother and father in Kingston, Jamaica. My father suffered from alcohol abuse and would beat my mother and me until when he came home drunk, stumbling. My mother, a feisty Jamaican woman, would tell him some hot words that provoke him even more. When she couldn't take the beatings, she packed up and left, leaving me behind. Having no one to care for me, my father sent me away to live with his parents in Portland, a rural part of Jamaica. My grandparents, Barbara and Benjamin Edwards, affectionately called Mom and Pa. They were devoted Christians and well respected in our community. Pa was blind, so by default, I spent more time with Mom and became so close to her that the people in the village called me Mumseye, because I was the apple of her eyes. I was too young to remember her wise words, but I remembered her kindness shown to everyone in the community, even to the thieves who stole the sugar cane from our backyard at nighttime. She would yell out the back door, "Me no mind your teeth with sugar, you know, but stick the head back in the ground so somebody can come and thief tomorrow." My grandparents, they gave me the true gift of freedom. Freedom to explore in nature, to be curious about how life came to be, and the freedom of self-expression. Surrounded by their love, a close-knit community, lush landscape with plenty of fruits, I couldn't help but flourish. In school, I grasped concepts easily, and in no time I was excelling. I developed a knack for writing short stories, reciting fancy poems from Christmas cards, and performing in plays in our local church. It was the way I put my hands on my hip, how I raised my head, and the words that flowed melodiously from my mouth. Seeing people clapping, then leaping to their feet in standing ovation, I saw my potential. The talk amongst everyone in the community, that girl have potential, you know, she gonna make it in life. I believe those words. They gave me hope. That every morning I jumped to my feet, gushing with excitement and expectation. to see who I would become. At 8 years old, my life took a turn for the worst. My father took me from my grandparents and moved me back to Kingston. He continued to physically abuse me. A few years later, he migrated to the United States. After he left, I moved from house to house, from one relative to another, some of whom physically and abused me. This left me seething with anger. I was raised to respect my elders, so through those times, I never thought of retaliation. But if looks could kill, they would be dead. My strange behavior prompted aunt to take me to the psychiatric hospital at the University of the West Indies. The nurse who attended to me told her, "I have never seen anyone lived in more places than a cat." I was frustrated and angry. My hope for the future was slowly slipping away from me. It was in high school I learned about the evil of slavery. My young mind couldn't grasp the full extent of what had happened. Each year, as we honored our national heroes who fought valiantly for our freedom, I admired and was inspired to be like Queen Nanny, Nanny of the Maroons. She was a successful leader, the only female of our 7 national heroes. Queen Nanny, she was a courageous woman, a warrior woman, a ferocious fighter who was also from my parish, Portland. Through guerrilla warfare, she fought those British soldiers and led over 1,000 enslaved Africans in Jamaica to freedom. I wanted to be like Nanny. Then I saw the TV series Roots. Oh, the images were horrific. My body cringed with anger, watching Kunta Kinte crouching as the slap slapped across his back. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. As I looked on, I realized the similar way my father would beat me with a leather strapped to my back. He would beat me until I fell to the ground. Many questions plagued my mind. Was my father a slave? Was he beaten like this? Is this how he learned to beat me the way he did? It was seeing Roots that understanding began to take shape in my mind, that something had happened to people with skin like me. Yet, there was a glimmer of hope. In July 1991, at 14 years old, I stood in front of the television watching my fellow Jamaicans in droves, shouting, "Freedom! Freedom! Free at last! Free at last!" And 2 people waving from a motorcade. They were the Honorable Nelson and Winnie Mandela. My eyes were fixed on them. When I learned that Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years for a cause he believed in, my chest rose and swelled with pride. I too wanted to fight for what I believed in. The triumph of his inward conviction over oppression left an inward impression on me. I decided, no matter how hard they beat me, I must hold fast to the belief that I had potential to make it in life. Question: how strong was my belief? Would my faith survive having to navigate one trauma after another? How could my faith survive migrating to a foreign country and being left to navigate the pitfalls of a big city on my own. How could my faith survive being dropped out of high school and becoming a teenage single mother? With so much internal pain, how could I stop myself from perpetrating the same abuse onto my children like my father had done to me? What psychological challenges did I experience as an adult? Transgenerational trauma was becoming a reality to me. Like Nelson Mandela, I had to believe that what happened to me did not define me. I asked myself, then what does? Queen Annie said, don't wait for it to happen. Get up and make it happen. Create your own future and dreams. Thank God I had a she-hero and hero like Nanny, Queen Nanny, Nelson Mandela, and of course my beloved grandmother Mum to inspire me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.
That was incredible. That was incredible.